Okay,
Yeah.
so now let's go to you. Meeting him, being with him, finding this out, and being a support and just learning about it.
Right.
What was that like for you? How is it for you? And yeah.
Yeah. I think meeting him, I think he thought it was going to like surprise me. Like I remember he came in on our first date and he has this little book bag that he leaves by my door. And he's like, I know you're probably wondering why I got this book bag. And later on, his mom was like, did you LVAT her to death? So just like telling me about his story. And I felt like that was just in hindsight, I remember just processing that whole season for us and just being like, that was an anointing thing too, because I had exposure. So my nephew actually has a really rare disease. So he, different than heart failure, but he would have to wear a little book bag too. And so like, I think in the ways that he expected to shock me, I had exposure, so I wasn't shocked. So I'm like, oh, my nephew wears a little book bag too. He got to take it everywhere with him too. And I just remember telling him like, I think thinking about how the nephew that I'm talking about actually is one that like the nephews that I'm the closest with. And I think about like, I want him to be able to fall in love one day. Like I want that not to be a barrier, you know, for him. So his health disorder wasn't something that deterred me. I do remember eventually asking like, okay, but this is going somewhere. Are we going to be able to have sex one day? Like, I just need to know, you know. He was like, yeah, my parts still work. It's like, it's an energy thing, but we'll figure it out.
Still works.
So that was important eventually. But something I can appreciate, that's just a God thing too. I remember his mom being like, she was like, Keima, I really feel like Jermaine is safe with you. Like, you know, you have such a desire to nurture him, or if he's not okay, like even us living together and waking up in the middle of the night, because for whatever reason in the summer our electric goes off randomly for like 10 seconds, but he's plugged in at night. So he wears this during the day, and at night he is literally plugged into a machine for his heart's sake. So if that machine goes off in the middle of the night, it's beeping like, hey, something's not
Screaming.
right.
So like right now, even when you go to sleep, you got to, that's plugged
Yeah,
up.
he's plugged in every night. So that machine, even while we're dating, is going off, and I hop up like, babe, wake up, change your batteries, you know? So I give him, and as you'll hear his mom so much, but she was such a intricate part of his story and going through that. I wasn't around during that part. But her faith and just her stepping in, you know, I felt like, I told them that I was like, y'all don't give me the space to be scared. Like when I came into the story, like I am very sensitive, and my family has had its own set of trauma. My sister has been through a traumatic surgery at a young age too, where we also have to talk about life and death. So in parallel ways, we have experienced some things, but I'm not necessarily the one who's experiencing it, but it's been around me. And so I was like, if I step into this, I have a responsibility to come with that same level of faith, with that same level of nurturing, with that same level of like, you know, making sure he's going to be okay. And so I really appreciated that she was just like, for a long time, part of my anxiety as a mom was like, I don't know, like he had previous females around, and she's like, them girls ain't gonna do nothing for you if something was to happen, you know? So I appreciated that she trusted his well-being. That was important to me, like that you can trust his well-being with me. So I thank God for that. I think that's another like anointing piece. And then even as we move forward, you know, people ask us a lot, like he said, he's a part of an organization, Lifeline of Ohio, and they're so big about support. And so always when we do something, they pull me aside and they go, are you okay? Like as the caretaker, as his wife. And I think because he's so strong, like, again, I can match his energy in those moments, but I don't think about the like what ifs in the same way that I've done in my own anxiety. Like his family makes you level up on your faith.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I'm so appreciative for that. But I think, I don't know. I do think about my role. I told him when he told me like, I can't have you in there being all sad and stuff. Like I need you to be strong. And I've had to tell him, I thank God for this too. Like my own agency, like, babe, my strength might not look like your mom's. Like my strength, I might be crying, I'm gonna be praying. And like, this is what it looks like for me. I'm going to have your back, and you have to trust that too, authentically. And so that has been, I think, my prayer. Even like when we first started dating, he was scared to have kids. I remember he eventually just got raw with me and was like, I'm nervous. Like, I still got to go through like a really tough heart procedure. And like, I don't know that I'm be on the floor and be able to crawl like with the kids and stuff at that initial stage. And like, here we are 3 years later, having a baby, you know, and I think he's up for the challenge. And like, we picked the hospital where his heart doctor is so that, Lord forbid, you know, not even forbid, we just don't know. We might get that call for him to get his heart, you know, and I just want us all to be together as a family. So I think it definitely impacts us, but I think we both are like, we can't put our life on pause. We're going to choose joy. We're going to choose faith. And we're going to enjoy everything that we have access to.
Can't put it on hold.
Yeah. So that was people's advice too. Like, don't y'all want to wait? That's going to be a lot. Like if he gets his heart and you're having a baby and da-da-da-da, but we're just like, we don't, you know, God will have to make all that work out. And that's kind of where we are with it.